there are times where you're given opportunities that sound really good. It could be money, could be a job, but you've got to assess to make sure that it's the best move for you. So an example, we had a film that we had written for a 72-hour film festival, a short. It's really good. And we had an opportunity to get a feature film, a horror feature film funded. So we stayed up all night or multiple nights, putting together a pitch deck, fleshing out the story, coming up with everything that we needed to do to finish the story and to pitch it to this investor. And he loved it, wanted to work with us, was going to give us money. But the deal that he wanted to give us was abhorrent. It was horrible. It was the contract was not good. The money was like, it just wasn't a good deal. And if we would have taken it, yes, like we could have had, like, I think good things could have come from it, but better things would have come from us keeping the script and doing everything ourselves. So I think there are times where it feels like this is a really good opportunity, but you need to assess with your long-term goals and your morals to make sure that it aligns best for you. Do you guys have anything to say about the thing?
Yeah. So I think that contract and that opportunity could be great for a lot of filmmakers.
Oh, completely agree.
But
Yes.
the way we run HAG and the spot we were at in our careers,
Mm-hmm.
both acting and filmmaking,
Mm-hmm.
it didn't make sense.
Mhm.
Working with a budget, I'm not going to say the number, but working with a budget that low on a feature film was not going to work for us. One of the things we really care about as HAG is paying our crew fairly.
It's the top priority. I would rather pay my crew than myself
Yeah,
every time.
and we do
And
a
I
lot.
mean, we do. We do
Uh,
every
Yeah.
time. What do you mean? But they
but
deserve it. They work their ass off.
for me, morally, asking these professionals to work on a feature film for so little money, feature films are a giant commitment
Giant.
and they're a lot of work.
Yeah.
It didn't sit right with me. For others, it could be fine. You know, that could fit with what they're doing. The people we work with, I
Deserve
don't
to
want,
be paid.
they deserve to be paid, and I'm not working with anyone else
No.
in that situation.
No. We've
And
got our crew.
the story is the one we're making this year against us.
Mhm.
And we have been able to develop and dive deep with our writers over the past year. And we got to produce a trailer and uh, pretty much do a draft of the wardrobe and the environment. And we got to shoot our trailer at our actual location. And we
Yeah.
got to be in the space and experience it. And
Yep.
now we get to go into pre-production for the feature film with all of that experience.
Yep.
And the script is so much more developed than it ever could have been in that situation.
It's completely ours and we're in full control of it. So it's our world that we have spent the past year building.
That's one of the many things you need to think about before ever signing a paper.
Yeah, so be selective of your opportunities and don't just take things because it sounds good in the moment. And yeah, I couldn't imagine expecting my crew that we work with, that we love, that are very talented to work with us for 2 weeks on our project for no money. I would never do that.
No, it's
It's criminal.
completely unfair. And
Yeah.
as an actor, if someone asked me to do that with where I'm at in my career, it would be a straight no.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And
Yeah,
I
you
would,
have a family, you have a life, like you have a job, like those things. Yeah, the preparation that goes into that. No, you have to be able to value people and be respectful of their value and their time.
Mhm.
And a film made in that short amount of time with that little money would not have been good, and it would have
No.
been an embarrassment for us. And also, it was in the middle of when the strikes were starting, and we
Yeah.
asked if they were to go on strike, it was like June, so it hadn't happened yet, if we would be able to pause the production and have extend our deadline, and he said no. So we literally would have put our chances of ever being in the unions online for this project. That will literally, it would not have done anything for us.
No. And once the project was created, we would lose all rights. We couldn't market it. We couldn't make a sequel. Like, we couldn't do anything with the project once it was sent off. So it was almost like, here's all of our blood, sweat, and tears. It's yours. You know?
Mhm.
Yeah. And we wouldn't be able to give equity of the film to ourselves or
No.
our
Or our
DP.
crew that we didn't pay. Like, not only are you not getting paid, you have no piece in this film. It's none of ours. We're working our tail off for somebody else for what? To get put on a streaming service?
Pretty much for exposure.
But we're going to create our own exposure, guys. We don't need that. And you are
Yeah.
too. People listening, you could do it yourself. You don't need that. You can make, I know there's pros and cons, but you've seen Mark Duplass' film Creep. They
Mhm.
made it on with a 3-person crew on a little cheapo. I mean, you can do it yourself. And that
You-
movie is incredible, and it made his career, right? Like, isn't that one of the big pieces of his I mean,
Yeah.
he's done so many things. Creep wasn't the first thing he's done, but it was the thing that really elevated Mark.
You can get creative and you can do a lot of things on your own, and you can
Mhm.
do a lot of things on a very, very low budget.
Yep. And you get full control of your art. Like, why would you want to give your art to somebody else?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Again, it makes sense for some people, but it did not make sense for us whatsoever.
Yeah.
And we also consulted with our mentors and people we trust, and they agreed with our decision and supported it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I'm proud of us because, you know what? I'm going to be honest. Emily and Cheyenne, said no. I, being Miss Opportunistic herself, was like, oh, yeah, I think so. I think we need to do this. Like, I was on board the whole time. We've got to do this. Like, we can't squander this opportunity. We got to move forward. And they're like, no, you need to assess. We need to take a step back. We need to look at this contract. So, yeah, I'm proud of us and myself for not being opportunistic. Yeah.
I'll always keep the boundaries high
Yeah.
and strong.
Emily, she really, I mean, there are
I'll knock
times,
them down.
yeah,